On the occasion of Rare Disease Day, I feel honored and obliged to play a very small part in creating awareness related to rare diseases. A very warm welcome to everyone. I am Dr. Kanika Yadav, Consultant and Head for Genetics Department at Modern Diagnostic and Research Center. Today we shall be discussing regarding rare diseases, why is it difficult and pose a significant challenge to be clinically suspected, what are the methods that are available to diagnose them, and why should we change our opinion related to rare diseases, as now they are not so rare anymore. Rare Disease Day is celebrated on the last day of February, and it was initiated by Europe, and now more than 100 countries are part of this campaign. The main objective of celebrating Rare Disease Day is to create awareness amongst general public as well as healthcare service provider about these diseases and how they impact on patients' life. The general definition that is used for describing rare diseases are such kind of disorders which are chronic, lifelong, and they are present very rarely in the population. If talking in terms of statistics, they are present in less than 100 people per 1 lakh of population. And these kind of disorders are majorly genetic in nature, but they can also be certain infectious disorders, degenerative disorders, certain rare cancers, as well as environmental disorders. As per 2011 census, in India, approximately 7.5 crore people are infected with some kind of rare disorders, and many more are not even aware of it. Although many of these disorders are genetic in nature, but they can be effectively managed with the help of multidisciplinary approach, which includes various forms of behavioral modification therapy, and dietary management, enzyme replacement therapy, certain drugs or medication, as well as gene therapy available. For example, nitasinone drug is available for treating cases of alkaptonuria as well as hereditary tyrosinemia. Enzyme replacement therapy is now also available for certain lysosomal storage disorders, and FDA-approved gene therapy is now available also for thalassemia cases, spinal muscular atrophy cases, and various other cancers also. Genetic testing can help in identifying what is wrong with the child, the best management protocol that can be followed for best possible outcome, the severity of the disease, and what should be the basis on deciding the future pregnancy. Rare diseases which are single gene disorders are tested by single gene testing, targeted gene panels, clinical exome sequencing, and whole exome sequencing. In clinical exome sequencing, we are testing phenotype related genes, and in whole exome sequencing, we are looking for all the genes at exome levels. Here we report and look for single nucleotide variants which are SNVs, indels, and CNVs till some extent. Rare disorders can also include chromosomal disorders, which includes aneuploidy change, inversions, balance translocations, microdeletions, and duplications. Microarray and MLP testing is performed to look for microdeletions and duplications, and for analyzing balance translocations, inversions, and aneuploidy change, karyotyping needs to be performed. Based on the genetic test findings of the affected child, parents can undergo testing for the same variant to know their carrier status for the same, and based on that a risk can be calculated where we can decide about the future pregnancy. Couple can decide to conceive naturally, and we can perform targeted genetic testing in the unborn baby at the age of 10 to 20 weeks of pregnancy. Couple can also decide to undergo IVF, where we can look for the same variant in the embryos, and those embryos which will not have those variants can be transferred inside the mother, and such kind of testing is known as PGD testing, or the pre-implantation genetic diagnosis testing. There can be various abnormalities that can raise the suspicion of the child having genetic disorders, which includes delayed development of the child as per age. There can also be certain physical changes, there can be low stature, as well as certain facial abnormalities. Child might be having low IQ, or there can be some intellectual disability in the child. There can be history of multiple cases in the same family, or there can be history of consanguineous marriage. If you have certain suspicion of the child having rare disorder, you need to raise your concern with the pediatrician so that he can guide you further. Parental testing is generally advised to know whether the reported genetic variant in the baby is inherited or is de novo. Inherited variants are generally benign, and de novo variants are generally pathogenic. A couple can undergo carrier screening test where we look for various autosomal recessive monogenic disorders to identify whether they carry any abnormal genetic variant for the same gene or not. If both the couples are having the same variant, then there is increased chances of the child to be affected by the disease. In IVF pregnancy, PGD testing can also be done to identify the embryos which are not having those variants, and those can be implanted in the mother. Newborn screening tests are also available where the newborn child can be tested for more than 48 types of inborn error metabolism disorders. Getting your child tested will provide you reason or insight into the genetic basis of the disease. Also, science has advanced considerably, and now multidisciplinary approaches are available which can help in managing the case, and also the child will become more and more self-dependent. Genetic counseling is recommended in such cases. Your genetic counselor and the clinician will guide you related to the disease, the management that is available, and what will be the future steps. Also, various rare disorder societies are available which can act as a support group.